V Brown, how's it going? Alright, I'll be right back. Okay. Hello. Hello, folks. Cat is here. Hi, Cat. Alright, so we got a few of these collectibles left. And then after that, I don't know. We'll do something else. Hey, you. Do you need love? Hey. What? Need attention. I forget where we were on this list. I can't remember. I think I just did Lanny's Curiosities. I think I did this. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we'll just go down there and see if I've done that one. I know I've done all the ones outside. And then we're going to have to grind a couple levels for knowledge points. So I think I already did this one. South side under table. I don't see it immediately, so I think this one's been done. All right. I'm gonna go to the market, which is somewhere all the way up there. Yeah, these ones aren't ordered nearly as well. That's okay. Can I full screen this? Oh, that's right. It like acts weird when I full screen it. Oh, there it is. Boom. All right, where's this one? Right there. Merchants Guild. That's all the way over there. Outer Market? Oh, it's here. Where's this one? On ship. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. It's up here. All right. One in here. Somewhere. Behind right bench. Oh, that's sneaky. Private Ratman Den. Oh, I'm so far away. In here somewheres. Oh, right there. Now what? Ratmore Rise. The heck is that? All the way over there? This is the least efficient way to do this, but we'll at least make sure we have them all. There's 8 left. Southeast by Sleeping Bag. Oh, there it is. Sewer pipes. Is that shit up here? It must be. It must be all the way up here. Oh no, Crassus. I don't know if you're here, but you're feeling it. You're feeling the pull. Bobby's not done with you yet. Looking for sewer pipes. Dismal drainage. Oh, geez, this guy's got a fat level. What is this? Zone. Sewer pipes. This is sewer pipes. Yeah. You think? Look, I think you know just as well as I do that there's just some residual Bobby energy left in you. You haven't expelled all of it. Just takes one slip. Slip on a water puddle. Back down the hole. You gotta recruit randoms. Big true. Randoms are the problem. And the problem with games that have low raid counts is they're for weebs. Stony Ravine. I think I did that one. Tanner's Road. Not like down here. Yeah. Fucking weeb game. I'm in for a good sesh when I go back to play that game, I think. Because I definitely skipped an entire expansion so far. So I might get to play 2 expansions in a row. What a treat. No, I played Endwalker. I didn't play Dawn Trail at all. Says Dawn Trail's big shit. Well, the thing is I'm banking on the like Dawn Trail is an ARR because it's the start over again. You know what I mean? I bet you that's what it is. They gotta fucking reset the fucking scenery again, dude. Maybe, I don't know for sure. Yeah, well, no one knows for sure, probably, but they said something new expansion cycle, so, you know. I need 5 more. Tannery. I see an issue. It says I need 4 more, and there's only 3 left on the list. So I think maybe I didn't get the one at Lenny's Curiosities like I thought I did. Better I skipped one by accident. Oh, I didn't go to Pier 2. That's the one I skipped. Yup. I keep getting these advertisements that says War Within is the best WoW's been in years. Is it the time to rejoin the maze? Surely not. On ship west side behind boxes. I think the most depressing truth is that somehow none of these other games were ever any better. Like, how did we manage that? How are people still playing World of Warcraft after this long? It's been 20 years. It's been 20 years. And we're not talking about, oh, it's like EverQuest where people still play it. We're talking, it's still the most popular one. Fucking World of Warcraft. I already got this egg. Uh-oh, that's doom. Frog and barnacle. What? Where's this? Oh, this thing down here. Did they full single player-ify 14 yet? Can you just do all the raids by yourself with your friends without recruiting real players? Wataine's office. Where is that? Oh, this thing. I think I'm gonna have to come back here. I get the feeling I missed this one. I don't know. I'm gonna be missing one. I don't know which one I missed. This is the one that I thought that I left on, but I don't see it. Surely I missed one of these other ones by accident. Interrogation room. Do you think I remembered to do that? Collected. There's a chance I didn't get this one in here. No, I think I did. It's a pickle. Okay. Which one did we miss? Oh, I never did Bert's Gallery? No, I must have. I just didn't click on anything in there. Yeah, I think I went in there. Pretty sure I went in there. Chewy the dog, how's it going? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did this one. So what's missing? Did other market. I did Merchant's Guild. Pretty sure I did Thadwick Square. Chadwick Square. It's like right here. I think I did Forensics Lab, but we'll go look anyways. Goose in guest room, yep. All the way up, interrogation room, yep. Oh, so it looks like it got done. Outer Market I did, Pier 2 I did, Private Road I did. Dan Rise Pipes, Smuggler's Cove. Oh, I didn't do that one. This one all the way the fuck down here. So they don't drop this patch until like 3 or 4 o'clock or some shit. We're gonna have to read the news. So I don't think they made the skill where the men come. But they made a skill where one man comes. Do you think that's good enough? He doesn't really come though, he just kind of sits there forever, I think. Like he's like your buddy. Eggs? Eggs? Any eggs? Egg enjoyers? We did it. Now, where did I see that guy? He was like in here somewheres. Uh-huh. I have found all the eggs. I definitely didn't use a map. Splendid. So we need to catch some criminals, some criminals. I guess we gotta catch wine thieves. That's all we can do. Go down here and catch some wine thieves for a little bit. They'll never spot me in the gold bunny uniform. What's the point of this game? Number go up. That's pretty much the point, I think, at this stage of the game, you know. Number go up. Right now we're gonna catch some criminals. This is a criminal right here. Attempting to steal wine. And we catch the criminal. Criminal caught. Experience go up. We like it. Until the experience go up enough that we gain a level and our level number go up. And then we have a big criminal catching number. Holy frig. Get caught. Get that other guy. Got him. Boom. We're not going to catch these law-abiding citizens who are paying for their goods. You gotta be vigilant. This lad is a criminal. Alright, Path of Exile, patch notes. Dirty criminal scum. A 100 new support gems. That's a lot. That's a large number. Added 100 new unique items. Wow. 100. You dirty criminal scum. I think I just walked through you? Yes. I am an ethereal being. Oh my god, everyone's stealing alcohol. It's terrible. Surely is terrible. Imagine, what would this poor wine merchant do if I wasn't here to catch all these criminals? They would go out of business. Beer? No, no beer. Just wine. I don't know if there's a beer merchant. Hey up, sir. Asmerian wisps. You mean wisps of the wildwood? Okay. Added 15 new socktable items. What does that even mean? Do you love this cat background? I don't know where this chubber is. He's around somewhere. See if he's in the living room. Oh, he's a lazy boy. Yeah. Ooh. You're a lazy cat these days. It's been a while since you've been up here. Yeah. But you're gonna lay down like that. Okay. I can't tell if he's changing the sound. Seems okay. Yeah. He's being a bit of a goober. He likes to press on the keyboard because he knows that gets my attention. Oh, shit. That's the wrong source. One is Olympic and one is Olympic in the food kind of way. Wow. We gained some knowledge. Doo-doo-doo. How close am I to ding? Because if I ding, I'll have to get another knowledge. So I can file evidence in an organized fashion. We're pretty close. I'll have to get another knowledge. Mosley, you fat butt. We're still over here catching criminals. Yeah, Mosley's a little bit chunkier than Adria is, but you gotta go. All right, see ya. If I scratch your butt, will that activate you? He muted me. Stay away from that. No, no, stay away from that. There's no way I'm gonna catch the other guy. Unlucky. Halsey, did you stop the music? Halsey, what are you doing to the XLR? Get back here. Get back here, Moe's butt. Yeah, you gotta catch the bottom one first. To have some chance to get the other one. No, he's gone. Yeah, we're gonna get another knowledge point. What are you getting into, Moe's butt? Don't you give me that look. You're causing mischief and you know it. Mr. Bee's Knees, how are you? Why are you pressing buttons? You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. That's the worst part. You know what you're doing. The dream. You know what you're doing. You're being a silly goose. Are you getting cranky? You're getting attention. I don't know why you would be cranky. I just won't let you play with the electronics, which I think is, you know, standard. I think that's standard. I see that tail whip, though. Are you being a cranky butt? Mosley. Are you having anxiety over the things on the screen? Is that what it is? I think he's triggered by what's going on the screen. You don't like this game? I can tell because of this. This is a cranky butt. A cranky butt tail. It's a cranky tail. You can get down. What? You cranky? Do you want love or not? I'm not going to pet you. You're going to be cranky. There's nothing for you to be cranky about. He's looking at the stream preview over there, and I think he's triggered somewhat. He either doesn't realize that that cat is him or doesn't like the little people walking around. He seems to be looking at the cat, so he doesn't really recognize himself on the camera footage. Let's not touch keyboard, okay? That's the one provision. You goober. What? Do you want attention? Or you cranky butt? Cranky? What? You're kicking me away like I'm doing something to you. I ain't doing nothing to you. I don't know why you keep sneakily trying to press buttons on the keyboard. It's not going to do much. You goober. How close are we? Still need 63%. Here's one. Here's another one. What? Do you need treat? Do you need treat? So you don't act like a butt? Do you know that word? Treat? Not really. You know when we shake the bag. That's what you know. Wow. You need attention now? Okay. No attention for cranky butts, so you better be good. Play any FromSoft games? What do they make other than like Dark Souls? It's hard to answer that question if I don't know what else they make. King's Field, never heard of it. Armored Core, nope. Shadow Tower, Echo Knight, these are all PlayStation things. Eternal Ring, Ever Grace, Armored Core 2, Adventures of Cookie and Cream, whatever that is. Mr. Cap, how's it going? Armored Core 2, Another Age, Forever Kingdom, Kingsfield, Armored Core 3, Murakumo Renegade Mech Pursuit. These are all like mech games. Enchanted Arms, Chrome Hounds, Armored Core 4, Armored Core 4 Answer, Jet lag is sucking, I'm up before 9. Yeah, usually you're here like way later. Yeah, so they made Demon Souls in 2009. That's like the only game I actually recognize. They made Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Bloodborne, Sekiro is the other one, I guess. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. Yeah, I've only played Dark Souls 1. That's the only thing I've played here. Like I said, I was streaming last. I can't remember when I was doing my Dark Souls playthrough. Actually, I can find out. When was my Dark Souls playthrough? On Twitch TV. Games. I think it'll tell me. Maybe not. Streams. That's when I started streaming again. No, just kidding. Actually, it might tell me on Sully Gnome. This website doesn't go back far enough. It was before 2017. Let's try this. Sully Gnome. Games. Oh, we gotta catch these criminal scums real quick. More. Available ranges. Shit. Can I just go to games all time? Is that not a thing on this website? God damn it, I gotta catch all these criminals. I'm trying to multitask, it's difficult. This is also a criminal. Well, I can tell you I played Banner Saga in this January 2016. I wish it would tell me all of the games. What if I click long-term stats? You think it'll tell me? No. God damn it. Now we're determined to find it. Okay, yeah. December. Dark Souls. I played 53 hours of Dark Souls in December 2015. What about January 2016? No. So it was sometime in 2015. I did, sometime in 2015, I did play Dark Souls, but I didn't play it like a normal human being. I played it like an idiot. So anytime I died, I restart the whole game. I played it on hardcore. So I never completed the game, but I did get a reasonable amount into the game. I feel like I played more than 15 hours though. I'm not sure if this is... Let's look in here and see what it says. Because I never played Dark Souls. I never played Dark Souls off stream. Never happened. 104 hours. So at some point I streamed about 100 hours of Dark Souls, and I played the game not like hitless like those guys do these days, but I played it deathless. So anytime I died, I restarted the game. But that was almost 10 years ago now. You're done? Okay, see you later, Mosley. The worst part about Mosley is his hair is mostly white. His fur, so it shows up way worse on the desk. Adria's is like orange. Started Elden Ring. Yeah, I like I said, like pretty much everyone who's played Elden Ring says they're like, wow, you should stream Elden Ring. It's like one of those things that's like, it'll probably happen eventually. I just don't know when. Some amount of me wants to be like, well, I want to play the Dark Souls games first before I play Elden Ring. Because, like, you know, that's like where it came from. Some amount of me wants to do that. But that's a lot more of an investment. So it's like a weird thing where it's like, well, everyone wants me to play Elden Ring. But if I'm going to play Elden Ring, then I'm going to play Dark Souls 1, and then I'm probably going to play Dark Souls 2, and then I'm probably going to play Dark Souls 3. I don't think Bloodborne is for PC, so we don't have to worry about that. And then we can get to Elden Ring. But then you're like, you think about that whole arc, and you're like, well, that's a lot of work. Maybe we won't do any of it at all. If it's a requirement to play Elden Ring, to play Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, then it just becomes a lot more work. Then you just don't want to do any of it, so you just do nothing. It's the classic mental thought process. Classic paralysis. Or just play Elden Ring, yeah. There's some amount of like also the idea that like you can only play games for the first time once. Um, and like what Nyla was saying one time was like, you know, since you haven't played a bunch of these games, you could like actually like spend a lot of time knocking out like a bunch of really popular games on a first time playthrough, and people love watching first time playthroughs. The problem is if I do that now, I can't do it later. So there's like a question about like, do I want to use my first time playthrough of a game now, or do I want to use it like later when maybe I have a higher place in the category because I have a higher base audience. I think about these things. Playing a game for the first time is like a consumable experience. You can't get it back. So I'm done with this shit. We can just go do our thing. But I don't know. I don't know what else to do today. I don't really have anything else planned. Other than maybe looking at the PoE patch. Because it's supposed to be today, but it's going to be today after I go to bed. I'll let it be frank. I'm not sure if it's going to be any different. Ultimately, it's PoE. Drop some videos for Rivals. Yeah, I seen that Emma Frost was like announced or revealed or whatever. I didn't really like. What's the word? I didn't see what she does or anything. They're trying to get you to play Poe too. They're hooked. Uh-oh. It's the thing about Poe is like again, as you know, Crassus is hooked on Poe. But Crassus is hooked on Poe like the degenerate kind of hooked on Poe, like like the old guard kind of hooked on Poe. So the new Poe, the Poe 2, that's more made for more people who like are normal in the brain, like they're not crazy people. That's the truth of the matter. Poe 2 is made for more sane people than someone like Crassus. So Crassus will shit talk Poe 2, but it's because it's somewhat it's not for crazy people. But the upside is he's still crazy about Poe. So if you get into Poe, we've played lots of Poe. We've played so much Poe. I don't know how much Poe your friends have played, but I've played most of my time on Poe on the GGG launcher, like the actual, like not the Steam version of the game, but like the regular launcher that doesn't keep track of how much time you've played. But I like this is how much time I have on the Steam client. And of course some of that's AFK, right? But I probably have like 5,000 hours at least on Poe, and Crassus probably has at least 10,000 hours on Poe. So to a certain extent, I wouldn't let how we feel about the game deter you from playing Poe 2. If you want to play Poe 2. I should probably update Poe. But again, also the upside is we know lots of things about Poe too. That's the other thing. We know a lot of things about the game. I play Elden Ring now. I've never played Elden Ring. There's just a lot of there's more than a select few people who say you should play Elden Ring. Not because they want me to have a good experience, because they want to watch me play Elden Ring. I'll probably eventually stream it. It'll happen eventually. But it's kind of like eventually I'll stream Final Fantasy VII. It'll happen eventually. I can't make any promises when it'll happen, but it'll happen eventually. Don't think I have time to play both Poe and Elden Ring. Well, here's the truth of the matter. Even if you didn't play Elden Ring, you don't have enough time to play Poe. But that's because Poe is the kind of game where it wants the most out of you possible. It doesn't want you to see your wife. It doesn't want you to see your kids. It doesn't want you to go to work. It doesn't want you to see your friends. It doesn't want you to have other hobbies. It wants you in your entirety at all times. And it does a great job of going, well, you didn't log on today. Everybody else logged on. Now you're behind. Your friends? They got gear today. They're killing bosses way cooler than you can kill. You better get going. They're not going to want to play with you when you're a shit-ass gear. You need to get some new gear. That's even if you, I guess most people play in parties in Poe 2, I think Poe 2, it's like you're supposed to play in a party. It was weird because in like Path of Exile 1, playing with a party like for a long time was bad. You didn't want to be in a party, but then it became like really overpowered eventually. Like there's a weird dynamic between like whether or not people in your party is a good or bad thing, depending on like the league that you're in. And of course, there's an extra dimension on hardcore because we always played on hardcore. And I'll probably break tradition if I play Path of Exile again. It'll probably be on softcore, softcore Soul Self-Found or something like that. And it's only because of that thing I said about like how it wants all your time. Well, imagine if it like wants all your time all the time, except like sometimes randomly the game decides you don't deserve to live anymore and they're going to just nuke your character and then it's dead and then you got to start over. And it's like part of the reason is because the screen had a bunch of shit on it and you couldn't see what the fuck was going on. And then a monster blew up under your feet and did one-shot amounts of damage, even though your character is basically invincible. And you couldn't see it. Now you need to start over. And I don't want to do the start over part anymore. that's a bit too egregious on my time. So there's a good chance if I play it again, it'll be on softcore. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see about my patience with it because the reality of the situation is every time I've ever tried to play Poe on softcore, eventually my brain goes, What are you doing, man? This is a waste of time. And it's a weird feeling because it's like the reason it's a waste of time is because you can't lose. It's a very strange concept. It's like all that you're working for, if you can't lose it, does it have any value? Because anyone can just spend as much time to get the same things as you. You know? If you can't lose, does it have any value? And then you're back playing hardcore again. Because you know that the things that you get you could lose them. Therefore they're worth more to you. And gives it purpose to play the game. It's why it's like hard for me to play like WoW on softcore now. I've played some hardcore WoW, and it's like, what's the purpose? Why do I play softcore WoW? You can die as many times as you want and nothing happens. You don't lose your items. You don't lose your character. Your experience doesn't go backwards if you die. Nothing happens. You could die as many times as you want. So what's the point? But hardcore fixes that. It also makes it so if you're online at an unfortunate time and the server takes a shit, you could lose all your work and it's not even your fault. Actually, I don't even know if I have Path of Exile on this computer. Oh, I do. I have PO2. Fuck that, yeah. That's actually the reason that I quit Diablo 2 Resurrected. Because actually I was enjoying Diablo 2 Resurrected a little bit. And what happened is I was doing what's called Trav Run, where basically like you join into the game and then you go to this specific place in the game where there's like 3 rare spawn monsters that drop good loot. You kill them all and then you reset the game and do it again. Anyway, so I was doing that over and over again for loot, because that's what you do in Diablo 2. You just do these runs for loot. You don't really like do anything interesting. And Blizzard's server randomly took a shit, and my character was dead. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? And I went on the forums, and it was like full of people going, we all lost our characters because your server's dog shit. What the fuck? And then it's just like, well, too bad. Unlucky. And the other, and then I made another character after that. I didn't completely quit. I was like, look, I'll try this again. Maybe it was just unlucky. And I don't think I think the footage is on the other computer, I think. But basically what happened is, like, in that game, barbs have like a leap skill where they go woo, and they jump like a really long distance. So I was doing countess runs for runes, and like you go into this tower and you find the countess and you kill her and she drops some runes and then you reset. And I was like in a room, like say like all the way back here, and then I like went up through a couple doors and I leaped and went, Roo! And then my character teleported back all the way back here, and I was like, fuck that. I cannot trust the game to not kill me. So I can't play it anymore. Anyway, we'll see how long it takes to patch this game. Actually, I don't know if this game is like live right now because they're patching. The game's supposed to get patched in like 3, 4, 5 hours or something like that, I think. But I haven't been on this since when did we play this last? I can't remember. Like when this came out, it was near the top of the year. It was in December, November or something. But the reason, like, the same thing should happen with this. Like, the reason I quit this game was because I think I was on my 3rd or 4th character, and I was like, I was like, man, I got my character going again. He's on his legs. He was like the guy that like shouts all the time, and then like a boss one hit me, and it wasn't, and like my character was super tanky, had super huge armor, and I got like one shot by a mechanic, even though, and it was a physical damage mechanic, and I had a fat, high health, high armor character. And to me, that means I shouldn't die to a physical damage mechanic. It shouldn't be possible. But they've made changes to armor in this version of the game compared to the first game that make armor kind of dog shit. I don't know if that's changed since I played the game last. But it used to be in the first game, armor was really good. You wanted to have armor. And in this game, armor is kind of dog shit. So even though, like, you would think, hey, I have high physical damage reduction, it should be really unlikely a physical damage blow will kill me. I still got killed by a physical damage attack. Good time to start because of the patch. Yeah, basically they're gonna not wipe everything. It's probably gonna start a new session where like everyone starts over. So in that way, it's like a good time to start because everyone's going to be starting at the beginning again. PO2 is in early access. It's relatively new in terms of like the early access part of it just came out. And I mean just came out, like I think I came out in November. And it'll probably be at least till next November before it's 1.0, but it'd probably even longer than that for it to be like done, or like not done, but like up to speed with where it should be, like in a release quality state. But Crass has basically said that Tencent has a schedule, so it might release half-baked a little bit if it's off schedule, but something, you sold the company. The reason why we used to like this company, in case you didn't know, is because it was owned by the guys who were making the game. That was good. We liked that. Then they sold most of it to Tencent. And then right when this game came out, there was a clause in the Tencent. So basically, like, you'll hear us talk about Chris, but Chris is the guy who founded the company. So originally it was like Chris and Jonathan, which is the guy who does PoE2, and a bunch of guys. They all owned the company. It was their company. They started it in a garage. Okay, like literally from nothing. And then like, I can't remember, it's like 4 or 5 years ago, they sold like 80% of the company to Tencent. But like Chris, who's like the founding guy, he still owned like 15% or 10% of the company or something like that. So we were like, okay, well, whatever. But there is a clause in that original sale that basically said like 4 or 5 years later, Tencent had an option to acquire the rest of the company. So now Tencent owns the whole company, and Chris is gone. He's poof. He has claimed his riches, is on a yacht somewhere. He owns many Black Lotuses. He's doing his whatever he wants, I suppose. But he's not working on the game anymore. And the guy Jonathan who does PoE 2, he's been around since the beginning, but he doesn't own anything. He's just a developer now. He doesn't own any amount of the company. It's all China. So they do whatever China want, I suppose. Now, in the first, like, what is this client doing? It keeps, like, minimizing and shit. Detected out-of-date GPU driver. We're not fixing that right now, although I don't really understand how that's possible. We're gonna have to do something with the game, though. It's being very strange. It, like, wants to be in a weird monitor. It needs to be over here. Can you stay over here? Thank you. Yeah, so this Dawn of the Hunt thing releases in 5 hours. And typically what happens in PoE is, like, things are a little different now because PoE 2 is being weird, but, like, every, like, 3 or 4 months, everybody starts over again, right? So, it's about to start over again, as far as I understand. So that means everyone starts from the beginning with nothing in 5 hours. So that's why it's a good time to start, right? You want to usually people tend to play PoE in cycles, right? When the new patch comes out, everyone's progress is reset, and you start over from the beginning. Most people play like 2 to 4 weeks, then they quit. And then 2 months later, the new patch comes out. Everyone starts over from the beginning, etc., etc. Yeah, see, this is down for maintenance. I'm not surprised, actually. So we can't actually get into this one. We can probably get into the other one. Beep! Mr. Nilo, are you here? Are you here for the dawn of the hunt? I'm not going to be. I'm going to be sleeping so I can go to work, but... what's new? New class, the Huntress. With the Ritualist and the Amazon. 20 new Huntress skills. That have to do with spears, probably. And a big monkey man. Ooh, riding a mount? Mounts? Mounts confirmed? Mounting? New Ascendancy class, of course, the Smith of Katava. There's a Smith Ascendancy. And there's this Lich Ascendancy too. But I was looking at this one, the Tactician, because it's like, he's, again, this is the guy I played before, but big mouse potential microtransaction, yeah. But he's like a minion. He's like a minion version. He's like a minion guy. And you see this guy here, there's like a new skill they added. It's called like the Companion or something like that. And it's just like a second guy. He's just one guy. And he's like a permanent, I think. And he just like stands around with you. And I think he can use weapons and you can like give him a skill. You can give him a skill gem and he uses that. So it's like two of you. You get two guys. You get you, and then you got your guy, your buddy. Maybe he can tank for me. I don't know. New skills. Ray's Spectre. Ray's Spectre is back. You know, and this is what Crassus was talking about. All you got to do is just play some generic shit and wait 2 weeks, and we're going to figure out which one of these monsters is bugged and makes overpowered specters, and we'll know what to do now. The permanent man. Yeah, so here's the mount. Apparently you can just have like a pet that Roa that you can ride around on like a mount. Sounds like PoE 1 could we give our man the blue staff and stuff. Yeah, that's a little different though, because Anime Guardian, he didn't really do anything. He was kind of just like a fat guy who like you gave aura items to, so he would buff your other guys. But this guy, like, he uses an ability. Like, he actually, like, and there's another one. They don't show it. I don't know if they'll show it, but there's another companion like this that's not called companion. Like, this guy will use, like, a physical skill, I think. But there's one called, like, a demon or daemon or something like that. And he casts a spell instead of, like, uses a physical skill. So I think, like, this is like the physical version of this permanent guy. They were like Anime Guardian to junk, we revamped, then brought back Spectre same patch, yeah. 100 new support gems. Damage from hits is taken from supported companion's life before you. We like that. Cadence. Yeah, okay. Rip. Tear. Wow. Rip and tear. This is obligatory. We said that we said 2 words beside each other, and now the song just plays. It has to play. 100 new unique items. They killed P1 recently or something? No, so it's weird. So PoE 1, they were supposed to be a new league, but they didn't make a new league. Instead, they made like an event, but it was like complicated enough that it may as well have been a new league. But they delayed the league, the next new league. Probably there's no PoE 1 league until June. My guess is eventually PoE 1 will be like twice a year, and then maybe be like never. To be honest, I can't see the game continuing when they got this game. I don't see it, but they're pretending like it's still going to be like business as usual with the other game. I don't know. Nocturne, a buckler. Parried enemies take more spell damage. Okay, and Mjolnir. We remember this thing. That's an old item. It says Soul Eater on it. This armor. The Silver Charm, where you gain onslaught when you get afflicted by a slow. Got quit or got fired, and then something about nerve, everything's so hard. Yeah, so Harishi didn't get fired. Harishi quit. And the reason I know this is because there's no way they would want Harishi to not be on the development team anymore. That guy knew everything about anything. He was in the guts of the game. He's made design choices in every piece of the game. He's the guy who was doing all the Ruthless stuff. Like he like was managing Ruthless on his own. It was his own thing. And when I was in the Ruthless beta test, he was the main correspondent. It's clearly the kind of situation where like that guy was like, I've been here for a while. I'm a senior and I have my hands in every piece of the game, and either one of two things happened. Either they they weren't wanting to pay him what he was worth because China company, or it didn't matter what they were going to pay him. He was done with the direction of the game, and I feel like it's one of those two things. It could be the third thing where like he's just tired and wants to try something new, right? He's been working on this game his whole career, and maybe it was the kind of thing. Well, look, I'm just going to get PoE 2 kind of out the door. That'll be my fade away, in the same way that Chris Wilson faded away at the exact same time, right? Chris Wilson and Harishi were two guys I think had a similar mindset of how they wanted the game to be, and now we have this game, and those two guys are gone. So I don't know what that means. Maybe it means nothing. I'm not deep into the conspiracy or even deep into this game anymore. It just seems like there's no shot that guy was supposed to quit. It's not good for the company. It's like that guy who knows how all the like if you think of like a IT development, you have like a company that's been running for like 30 years and you have antiquated code that no one knows how it works except for that one guy who's been working here forever, and you pay him a lot for that reason, and that guy quits, and now you have no idea what the fuck your back end does. He's like one of those kind of guys. You don't want to lose that kind of guy. Anyway, yeah, and then they nerfed everything in Path of Exile 2, but I think this is like this was coming, right? Like the power level was way too high for what they wanted. People were making builds that were insane, like it was PoE 1, and they don't want it to be like that. They don't want it to be like you put some skills together and you make a god character and blow up the screen all the time and kill the boss in like so quick that he can't do abilities. Like, I think they didn't want that to exist. So they nerfed every skill in the game. All of them. There were so many that they didn't even tell you which ones are how bad. There's no patch notes that say this got nerfed. They just said, we nerfed so much stuff, we're not going to list it. That's what they said. New endgame maps. Rogue Exiles are back, in case you really were missing these guys. Unique strong boxes, yeah. New endgame mechanic, cleansing the corruption. I never even played maps, so I don't even know what the fuck's even going on with this thing. But improvements to endgame systems, great. New mechanic, corrupted essences. This might be new to this game, but it's not new to like old PoE, right? Like you had corrupted essences in the old PoE. I guess they weren't in this game yet. And I imagine the way that they're implemented in this game is probably different. Upgrades a normal item to magic item, or a magic item to a rare item. With 1 guaranteed property. On corruption, item gains 2 enchantments. That's a little different. Yeah. But yeah, we can't play this right now. I was just going to log in and see, like, what the fuck's going on. But we can watch a trailer. You want to watch a trailer?
We as Mary are guided by the Spirit. It provides prayer, shelter, even love. But for me, one day, all that were changed.
When you play in zone, what even is that?
The Spirit, it showed me something.
I seen people are like live playing the game on Twitch, and I seen the game on Steam, and it was like $55 for what looked like Second Life, and I was like, "The fuck is this?"
Everything.
It's like Sims with AI in it. Ah, okay.
Weren't finished with me yet. I'll right the wrongs I've done. I'll do what I must. No matter the cost. I will hear the spirit once more.
Schedule 1? That game I don't understand that game either. I see this game and it's like Drug Dealer Simulator, but it's a different one. And I was like, oh, it's Drug Dealer Simulator. And then everybody's playing that game. Absolutely everybody, like it's a massive hit. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's Drug Dealer Simulator. What's the deal here? I just had a PTSD flashback. You know what of what? Look, I might give Nilo a PTSD flashback too. Doesn't this it just feels bad, man. I feel like everyone has a slight nausea reaction to this segment of the video. Just this 1-2 second clip. I think I need a puke. We promise the loot's insane. Do you want one rare item? By the way, you might randomly die. Ooh, 1 chaos orb, big loot. Oh, look, we recalibrated the loot. We made it 15% better, and according to our math, it's really worth it. Oh shit. Yep. Yep. Get access now. Is there anything else going on? Twitch drops? Wow. Wow. Oh, there's like more shit here. No salvation without sacrifice? What is this? Oh, we've already seen this stuff. This is like old.
Sir.
Yeah, this is old stuff. What are the tryhards doing? Lich, Chaos Dot, maybe? Let's never sync. Yeah, I kind of like thought that maybe I would just play this idiot again with like the new like minion version and just like make a buddy and just like see what happens. You still playing that Pantheon game sometimes? I wish. I wish I was. The game was bad for me. That's the truth of it. I stopped playing it because it was bad for me. Like I got on, like I was only playing it on. I was like, look, I'm not gonna play it during the week because it's gonna be bad. I'm only gonna play it on the weekend, and it was still bad. Like, I would be like, look, I'm gonna play for like one party. It'll be like 3 or 5 hours, and I was on there for like 8 or 9 hours, and it was like, I can't be doing this. And the only reason it was so long is because like, well, you know, they want to go and do another camp. I'm like 3/4 to a level. It was not good. It was not good for me. If I was unemployed, I would play the game. But it's like, it's the kind of thing where it's like PoE, it's like, I'm not going to get so hopelessly addicted to this that like I'm going to have a problem. But Pantheon was the right kind of juice for me, man. Like it's the perfect, it's just like EverQuest. It's not good. It was just a bad, it was, and I could tell. I knew it was bad, so I had to stop it. Seeing an XP party for a whole evening doesn't seem real. Yeah. Yeah. So here's what the drama was. So before early access, the game was really not that popular. Like there's not very many people around. They needed a way to test content. The team's not that big, and the best way to test content is to test against people who are legitimately playing the game and are really good or really committed. So they got into this kind of bad habit that when they pushed content to the server and they needed to test it to make sure it worked, they would like get this one particular guild together full of guys who were hardcore in the game and say, look, we're going to spawn the boss. Can you guys test it? And obviously that's not something you should do on a live server. But they got into a bad habit of doing that. And then once they released it on early access, the game kind of exploded a little bit. Like, the only reason I was playing is because it went on early access on Steam. Like, the population went crazy for a game like that. Everyone who was playing EverQuest 1 is playing Pantheon now. But they were still doing this thing. They basically were just testing to make sure the bosses work, and they wanted a test group. But people in guilds not in that guild found out that, oh, the GM is spawning bosses for this guild. That's not fair. And then it kind of got like shit broke loose. But it kind of wasn't. It wasn't really like, you know, super secret, we're going to spawn the boss for you guys and we're going to cheat. It was kind of just like, this is just how they were testing content for years. So they didn't really think much about it. And it was a terrible lapse in judgment. They didn't realize that once the game went like early access and the population exploded, that they couldn't do this kind of stuff anymore. Where like, you know, the server had like fucking like, I don't know, like 30 people probably on it and no one cared. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, I think it's all on the up and up, but the worst part is Pantheon's the most addicted to a video game I've been in a long time, and it's like it's weird because it's like I want that. I want to have to be so compelled by a game that I really want to be playing it all the time because that's the kind of person I am. But I got to be able to like get up. And like the problem with with a game like Pantheon, it's like say I was hard on PoE 2, you just do a map and then you're done. Like you're done that segment of gameplay, right? You're like, okay, I can do like 3 maps. Maybe you have like that just one more syndrome where you're like, oh, I'm just gonna put one more. I'm just gonna do one more. I'm just gonna do one more. But you do one and then it's done. Like there's a pause. In a game like Pantheon or like EverQuest 1, it's like the party's going. The party's still going. The party doesn't end until, you know, somebody says they're done. And you're looking at your XP bar and you're like, well, I only need like 25% of a level. I'll just wait until I level up. But then you level up, and then you've been in this party with this guy for 5 hours, and he's like, well, I'm going to level up in 20%. Can you like stay until can you stay until I level up? And then he levels up. And then like the other 2 guys they're gonna level up soon too. Okay. And then you're like, well, I got to level up, he got to level up. These 2 other guys, they should, you know, they've been in the party too. They should have their chance to level up so that when they go find a new party later, they can do a higher camp. And then you're 25% to level up again. So you're like, fuck. And then you're like, well, I plan to be on here for 5 hours and it's been 7.5 hours and my wife's going to bed. There's no pause, right? There's no pause in the rhythm of the game. So, it's just easy to just explode your time away. Looking at Poe 2? Yeah, look, we were looking at Poe 2. We were looking at it. I was trying to figure out if the men are going to come back. Cuz there's this man. Where'd the man go? This man. Are the men coming? Or is it just one man? I know there's at least one man. And there's another guy that casts a spell. No, not no pants man. I mean the men that come on top of you. You know. No, not convocation. Like the guys, dude. Like, you know, you hit the guy and then a bunch of men come. It sounds so wrong, but a bunch of men appear. It starts raining men. You know. Yeah, Nilo's on the right track. Get idiots into that freaky shit. Dom blow, yeah. It's literally called Dom blow. They knew what they were doing when they made that skill. Dom blow. You use the Dom blow and then the men come on top of you. It sounds so bad, but that's exactly what happens. You use Dom blow and then the men come on top of you. Is these guys playing Domblo? No, I want a full screen. I don't want your weird build, brother. I just want to see some Domblo action. Where's Gazzy? Is he gonna show some gameplay? It's not much gameplay. It's just classic PoE1. Your screen is a bunch of bullshit. So you have all your guys, but like you go in there and you use Dom Blow, and then a bunch of men appear. Go in there. Go get them. Stop talking about your skills. Oh my god, this is such a see all these guys that appear. Yeah. Man, this game is a mess, Crassus. What is going on? Yeah, standard Harvey map. Yeah, I know, but can't even blame minions for that one. Yeah. He's gonna die. He's dying. You guys can't see, but this guy is dying. Anyway, what about the other one? What about the one where you cast the lightning and the men come from the sky? That's what I want. I want Dom Blow back in the game. That's what I want. I think Spectres were the last minion thing. Really? There's no way. No way, man. There's no way that there's no build with the pantsless man where you use the Dom Blow and then the men come on top of you.
Going back to work.
I had to say it again because my wife was right there. Holy shit. But yeah, like, yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work, but there's like 0% chance that there isn't some broken minion, right? Like one of these fucking monkeys is just gonna be broken. It's just a matter of finding which one. They have trees, right? Where's the actual shit? Is it in here? Where's the trees? Oh my god, look at all this fucking shit. Oh my god. Ain't no way no one reading all that shit. Why did they put portals back in the game? Why did they add 6 portals again? I thought we were past this idea. Bad answer. No, wrong answer. Bad. Bad. Bad answer. Too much crying. Okay, glad John has a spine. They're gonna cry regardless of what you do. Just let them cry. They'll cry. It doesn't matter. They're just gonna cry about something different now. I think Tencent can't break his spine. I don't think it has anything to do with Tencent. I think he might have a jello spine to begin with. Bullet does so many things so fast. Oh, God. That doesn't sound good. They nerfed freeze buildup. That's a fucking by a lot. That's by a, that's a not a small amount. Player base ailment threshold is now okay. Can you get more than one charm reliably yet? How to get first and unlock out? Yeah. At endgame, yeah. Last time I was paying attention, it was still like you could get one on a belt, but it was fucking no one even seen the fucking mod other than like 3 people. Only got 2 charms on 1 belt. Up the rarity on mod. Oh. Getting it in the belt, not being dog shit. Yeah. Well, that's one of those things where it's like, it feels like maybe the charms are like good enough that like you just sack that slot to have the charms actually do something. Until you like roll a good one. I don't know. It seems stupid that like it's not like, it feels like it should be, if you understand what I'm saying, like it feels like it should be an implicit or something. Like it feels kind of stupid that either the belt has the mod and it's usable, or it doesn't and it's unusable. I don't know. What was I playing before? Oh, they buffed the guy I was playing? He was probably dog shit then. Oh, no, they nerfed this part. I do that corrupt cry thing? Well, is armor still dog shit? It looks unchanged. Probably because it wasn't that good. It's slightly better. I just felt like the when I died on that character, I felt like there was no way I was supposed to be able to get one shot. It just seemed stupid. It totally put me off the game. I was overfat and overfarmed and had way too much armor, and I got one hit by a physical ability. It just seems stupid. Where's the trees, man? Pob 2? They have a Pob 2 now? Oh no. I'm back from the world of, like, there's no POB 2. Oh, here it is, POB 2. This isn't gonna have the gem changes though, right? Because we don't actually know. We have no idea. POEDB data mined them? Oh, okay. I guess that's possible. I guess that could happen. Okay, so where does the fucking shit? There's only 2 things here. Heard there's a new hit on Steam, a game about digging a hole. Yeah, I've seen that one. There's no ascendancies on this, Crassus. The fuck? Is it the wrong version of the game? Check for update. Checking. No update available. There's no... It's not even updated. Fuck. Opt into beta versions? Is that a thing? I mean, no, I didn't even think to do that. Opt-in weekly beta test build. Check for update. Downloading. Update ready. Updating. Nothing happened. Check for update. Restart. No, didn't help. F. Okay, is there like a version of the game I have to click? I feel like what you're saying should be true, but it's not here. You know? Fuck it. Also, for you spirits enjoyers, I also like camping this thing. Apparently disappeared. Look at the price. Wow. But it's not on any store. So, we're going to see if we can snag one of these. This is the cheapest price in the country. Like, this is like $200 in Alberta. Insane. Haven't checked shit? Yeah, no, I feel that. Okay, so here we go. Okay, let's ignore these for a second. I just want to look at this man. Okay, so what happens here? Persistent buffs have 50% less reservation. More aura? Allies in your presence gain attack damage equal to 25% of your main hand weapons damage. Man, that sounds like you want to have lots of guys, though. Not like one guy. This isn't it. It's look, you know, I gravitate towards these leg ascendancies that no one wants to play because they're garbage. Okay, you know that, so you're gonna have to get through this part. Can place multiple banners. Oh, fuck banners. No one likes those. Pinned enemies cannot perform actions. Increase pin buildup. Pin build. Projectile damage builds pin. Pinner? Big pinner? What is this? Gain 100% of armor as extra stun threshold. Gain 100% of evasion as extra ailment threshold. God knows you're gonna fucking need that. Defend with 200% of armor. Enemies have an accuracy penalty against you based on distance. But your maximum evade chance and physical damage reduction is 50. What does that do? That means you can only get so much. But the thing is like, if you're playing this like half and half build, I guess reaching 50% with like half armor, half evasion, you just die. Yeah, that's kind of what I read, but I'm trying to look at the upside, okay? That means if you get melee'd, you're just, yeah, just stop being silly. Well, if I play softcore, I can die some. I'm allowed. That's allowed. That's softcore. What is this? Increased totem damage? No, no one wants to fucking play a totem. Log in and throw spears? No, I'm not doing that. There's no chance. Totems have more skill speed. Totems only use skills when you fire and project. I hate totems, man. What does supporting fire do? Minions from this skill have 1% increased accuracy rating per 3 of your dexterity. Okay, so it's a strength stacker minion skill. Wait, no, this is a what? Summon a hidden artillery squad. The artillery squad counts as your minions. What? What? How many guys are in your squad, dude? So what can you take? You can take this, and but then if you take that and you take this, and that's like it. You can't get this thing too. This guy kind of sucks. I'm gonna be honest. He kind of sucks. What happened to my page I was on? Alright, what's this guy do? Can only use normal body armor. And then what? Do you pick one of the red ones? You have a naked chest and you pick a red one? Is that how it works? Body armor grants armor also applies to chaos damage. This is the Quinn build? It sounds like it. I see this crap over here. You can pick multiple red ones. Oh. Oh. What do these things do? We'll have to read what these things do, but this is 0 damage all tank guy. Yeah, like, do you just take these two things and then, like, slap some of these busted red skills on here? 25% of physical damage from hits taken as fire? Like, that seems silly. And then you have 5 maximum fire resistance, but that also gives you maximum cold and lightning resist. And then you can even have it apply to chaos damage. Pick this guy if coward. Yeah, it feels like he just is invincible. And you could have 4 reds. You could have the fizz as fire. You could have max fire. You could have applies chaos damage and grants hits against you have 50% reduced critical damage bonus. If it's 4. If you get to pick 4 and these two. But there's also these other living manifest weapon, temper weapon, fire spell on hit. I kind of feel like fire spell on hit's probably not it, but does it say? Say what those do? No. No idea. This looks like some kind of like anime weapon shit, this thing here. I don't know what that is though. Can socket 1 non-unique basic jewel at double effect, but more mana cost if you're dead? Okay, who cares? What does this say? Non-channeling spells consume power charges to deal more damage. Damage taken bypass energy shield, no inherent mana regen. Your life cannot change while you have energy shields. Okay, it's like slightly better CI, I guess. Oh, does this character have pops? Oh, yeah, it has pops. 33% chance for a quarter of life. I guess there's this other, like, unholy might thing. I guess, right? That's the other thing, but it's like probably not it. Because there's like a magnitude of unholy might buffs. There's like some kind of mana stacker thing. Some kind of mana stacker minion thing. Um, just the chaos guy. Yeah, I think it's designed in a way though where you have options, right? It's not. I mean, like if you're trying to min max, like maybe one's like better than the other in most circumstances, but um, no, that's not update. That doesn't even help me. Um, this thing keeps going. I need to press the X is what I need to do. So, what does this character do? Okay, so you have a node that's a downside, and then you have a node that says +1 ring slot. Oh. Increased bonus gain from equipped rings and amulets. I mean, you can just pick whichever one doesn't apply to you. What does this say? Increased life recovery rate per 5 life missing. Okay, whatever. +1 charm slot. I guess you can get it without any work. Consume 25% of maximum mana to trigger charms with insufficient charges. So you can wait. You can just charge on demand. Is that what the charm on? Is that what this is? Is this charm on demand? Or is it when the charm would go off, it eats your mana? What does this mean? Something's gonna be hilarious to see what people do with rings. Yeah, I mean you'll have many rings, that's for sure. Does the ring slot count as a right ring slot or a left ring slot? Is that a thing in this game? I can't remember. Is it a middle finger ring slot? Is it both? Is it neither? The video is on the left side? Okay. Ritual sacrifice. Random monster modifier. But it's capped. So it's not... Sacrifice the corpse of a rare monster, grant its modifiers for a duration. So it's like super budget headhunter. Maybe cool? I don't know. I mean, this does have a skill that's related to my name. So maybe I'm supposed to play this. What does that do, though? Enemies in your presence accumulate blood boils periodically. When they die, the boils pop, applying corrupted blood to nearby enemies. So things just... get corrupted blood on them. Corrupted blood RF. Yeah, that's kind of like how it reads. Hmm. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Maybe. Maybe. What's the like? Probably fun but clunky. Yeah, I'm okay with things being clunky. I I've played some clunky builds in my time. Okay, so what's this one? This is the one, I'm sure this is the throw the spears one, right? Chance to hit with attacks can exceed 100, gain additional critical chance, equal to 20% of the excess chance to hit with attacks. You can overcap hit to crit. Infuse weapon. Infuse weapon. Converts damage. Okay. Huh. Leech recovers based on your elemental damage as well as physical. This give me like some kind of fucking like raider vibes. Even though that essence he's not even in any game now. Interesting. I'm not compelled by this one. Maybe compelled by that one. but we can always get in there with the with the minion crossbow man. maybe. I'm gonna have to at least click on this skill and see what it does, or at least watch somebody use it minimum. Yeah, the wildwood. What is this shit? These are just more socketables? Is that all this is? Corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you. Look at that. There it is. Crassus. This image provokes PTSD. This image sparks joy. These hexagons, we don't like them. They could have stayed gone. It doesn't matter what happens with the mechanics. These hexagons could have stayed gone. Okay, there's the corrupt thing. You cleanse the corrupt thing, and then what? Cleanse the boss, corrupted nexus boss fight. And then you get cleanse maps. And you have other boss fight. Okay. What is this fractured +3 level of all minion skills? Fractures come from a cleansed enemy. Does corrupted currency come from corrupt enemy? Also, like, forgive my, like, lack of keeping up with what the fuck's going on in this game, but, what's with these things? What's with these, like, mixed potions? What the fuck's that? Can't fucking enlarge. What's that shit? Is this just some cosmetic shit? Something where you could choose life flasks giving mana and vice versa? Okay. I've just never seen this before, so I have no idea what this is. You can have 2 HP pots or 2 mana pots. But that's one of each. I just don't understand why they're multicolor, that's all. Maybe that's some cosmetic shit. I don't know. I don't get it. What's this? The Coming Calamity. Wrong game. No, it's wrong game for this. No. Wrong game. The Coming Calamity's in the other game. Wrong game. I mean, I guess it's cool. Is that all it's on this website? That's all it's on this website. It's not over here. Well, we'll check out what's going on with Deadlock. I'm just kidding. Okay. There's some uniques on this website. Ignite immunity. Chance to gain a charge when you kill an enemy. Oh, this is a charm. Ignite enemies in your presence as though dealing fire. Yeah, but this is just when. Okay. What is this? Infinite projectile parry range. Mjolnir's back. Mjolnir's back in action. Aggravates bleeding. Another charm. Wastegate. Old discharge. Yeah. Life mana, recovery. Life mana flask can be equipped in either slot. So is this the thing that does that? And then there's this thing again that gives you Soul Eater. I'm assuming these are all the old ones. Do I have to look at the mega list of patch notes? Oh, God. That seems like too much, you know? There's too much there. There's way too many things on this fucking page, man. It's unreadable. They buffed Untainted Paradise. Ooh, that's big. I didn't even look at this page. Yeah, it's a lot. Many fire skills now visually burn grass in areas. Game changer. It's a fucking game changer right there. I gotta say. Presence base radius is now 4 meters, previously 6 meters. They nerfed presence? Okay. Oh, I know. I know they nerfed most things. But sometimes, you know, you just you can't imagine how low they would stoop. It looks like they buffed shields, though, probably because no one raises their shield ever. Light stun threshold. Heavy stun threshold. If you get heavy stunned, you can't, like, dodge and shit, too, I think. Your character should just die. Yeah, that's what it reads. Heavy stun duration on players is now 3 seconds? What the fuck? Cannot block or evade hits. This is deadly. 3 seconds is so long. That's so long. Many new clusters. Many. Mana cost for all attacks and marks war cries has been reduced. Huh. Well, that's a plus sign. Blink is now a travel skill. I suppose as it should be. This is kind of minutia, most of this. They nerfed to detonate dead. Good on them. Wrong game. Yeah, most of this is just minutia. You might not even notice. Like things like, you know, Herald of Ice explosion radius is like 0.2 meters less. It's like, okay. Heralds not being able to chain off each other? Is that a thing? I mean, I'm not sure that you would lie about it, but... I don't see it here, but... Ice crystals no longer apply kill effects to just Herald of Ash? Is that this thing? Oh, here it is. On kill effects of Herald skills no longer trigger from kills caused by Herald skills. Yeah, this thing. I guess that makes sense. Many numbers go down. Many costs go up. Well... Ritual rewards menu now pauses the game. Hooray. Enabled microtransactions. Do you think they enabled some of my microtransactions? They did enable some of them. Here's one right here. Incinerator Apparition Portal Effect. I have that. Slowly but surely. Fixed many bug. Okay. Nice. Nice. Very nice. Great. And now. And now for something completely different. For something completely different. Let's, whoop, summon our wheel and see if I can find something I've never reviewed. Let's see. What can we see? What can we find? And it's... Oh, ho, 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 ho. Yeah. That's a one. That's a one right there. That is a fucking one. All right, friends. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, this is a one. This is a spicy meatball. This one. I'm actually not sure what kind of rating this thing will end up with. I'm actually not sure. Because this is a very popular whiskey. It's very popular. So, it's very good. But I don't know what I'll say about it in a vacuum. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so today, live review of the Ardbeg Ugdal. I suppose a much anticipated review of the Ardbeg Ugdal. And this is a Moe Hennessy Louis Vuitton product from the Ardbeg Distillery. It is 54.2% alcohol, or 108.4 proof. It is non-chill filtered and of natural color. And it is aged roughly 10 years in ex-bourbon and ex-sherry. Ex-bourbon barrels and ex-sherry butts. And of course, this is the untamed and ultimate Ardbeg, the one of the most smokiest and brashest spirits of Isla. And of course, it's at a very respectable overproof. It's not quite cask strength. Again, 54.2% alcohol is nothing to shy away from. It's definitely a high proof, but it's not quite cask strength. So there's some water in the batch, but it's definitely very potent and viscous and has all those things that we love about Ardbegs. Maybe some of that mint, some of that tar, smoke, and character. But of course, this one has some maturation in Oloroso sherry butts. So it's going to have some of that sherry, some of that sweet sherry influence, perhaps some dark sweetnesses and spices. Maybe we'll catch a dried fruit of some kind. We'll see. We'll see if this is the flaming raisin that it might sound like. Although I don't remember getting much dried fruit on this when we tried it originally. Of course, we haven't drank too much of this, but we did fresh crack it, and it was very potent and very sweet. But not really like on the dried fruit range. So we'll see kind of how we feel about it today. Of course, we will rate this out of 100. 25 for aroma, 25 for palate, 25 for finish, 10 for texture, and 15 for my personal experience. So very interested to see how I feel about this today. Just like Dave Portnoy pizza, I suppose. One dram, everyone knows the rules. For good or ill, we'll give this a score. And some would probably score it very highly. It is a very popular Ardbeg product. Boom. And we'll get that going. We're going to give this just a minute to kind of chillax, you know. Give that spirit some time to chillax in the glass just for a minute. Again, it's of relatively high proof, and this bottle does not frankly have much air in it. It's been a while since we opened it. I believe we opened this on my broadcasting anniversary on January 26th. But I don't think we've had any other pours from it since then. So one small dram out of it on the 26th. So that's about 2 months ago. So it's had some time, but there's not a lot of air in the bottle. So that being said, oh, I get the volatile aromas from here. I'm getting some of that grassy green peat and some of that smoke. It's hitting me. It's hitting me right now. And that's one of the nice, interesting things I guess we'll say about very potent peated Isle Scotch is you know it's potent. And the guy sitting next to you probably knows it's potent too, especially if they're not acclimated to it. The strength of the pungent aroma volatiles is just quite something. Because I can smell the peat from here. And of course, Ugdal is Gaelic for a dark, mysterious place, in case you didn't know what that meant. That's also the name of the distillery's water source, Ugdal. So that's where this name comes from. A dark, mysterious place. And of course, oh, nope, Cat's not coming. Cat's right there. I thought Cat was coming to see us. All right, so here's this, again, natural color. It's only roughly 10 years old, from my understanding. But again, it has some amount of ex-Oloroso sherry butts in the blend here. That's the main difference of this compared to like, we'll say maybe a higher proof, just like a higher proof Ardbeg 10 or like a Corey Reckon or something like that. Corey Reckon has, of course, some virgin, I think it's virgin limousine oak in the Corey Reckon. And some, again, sherry butts in this one. The Corey Reckon's a little bit higher proof too. But the sherry is the iconic factor of this particular offering. So it's going to contribute to a darker color for sure. I'm going to roll that a little bit. See if we can get some good leggage there. Some good thick leggage. At least it's mostly on this side of the glass, but I'm sure you can see some amount of that sort of light refraction. You're here. Of course you're here. Of course you're here. Well, of course I'm getting like that typical like strong campfire smoky essence. I'm also getting like a good amount of nuts. These nuts. Some D's nuts on this one. A little bit of that mint. Definitely like minty and nutty, smoky campfire. Cat is currently a note. I'm trying to get something else out of here. There is like a fresh, kind of fresh coastal air about it. It's like a slightly salty sea spray sort of element. And of course, Cat knocks things over. Look, we're trying to review. You lay down. Lay down. We can't, no, we can't walk around because you knock stuff over. Yeah, no. She's a weird kind of cat. She wants to be loved while she's walking around. She doesn't want to, like, lay down and have you give her attention. She wants to walk around while you give her attention. No, let's not walk around. Let's just sit here. Like I'm trying to get her to just lay down, and she will not. She wants to walk around while she gets attention. No, let's just lay down. There you go. But then, funnily enough, once you get her to lay down, she doesn't want to be touched anymore. If you touch her, then she leaves. She's very particular. Yeah, okay. Yeah. There you go. No, 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 no. We're going to try not to walk around everywheres. We're trying to review now. Yeah. Of course. Insulted. So insulted. Oh, you're back. You thought I was going to let you get by here, eh? Nope, nope. We're going to lay down. Lay down. Nope. We're just trying to get review done. You weren't up here for hours and hours, and then we start recording, and you needed love. Yeah. But we're not going to walk around all over the desk, because then we can't really review stuff. You silly goose. Yeah, still mostly the same. Kind of like smoky, a nutty component, that kind of freshness, minty, briny. I'm not getting much of like the darker sweet components, at least not right now. So we'll see if those will develop here. So the Ardbeg Ugdal on the palette, Slancheva. On this first sip, I mostly just get the kind of the like Ardbeg, core Ardbeg components, that smoke, that brine, an earthy character, some of that like kind of black tar kind of note. There's some creosote in there. Again, like earthy, salty, slight medicinal component, but not very much. It's kind of like all the Ardbeg notes are hitting me, but I'm not getting the sherry right off the rip. And I think it's kind of like one of those things where as we kind of like go back to it, we'll kind of get more of that sherry note. The sherry was like really obvious when we side by sided this with the Corey Brecken and the 10. The sherry component was really obvious on this whiskey. But right now, just like taking it right off the rip, again, it's a higher proof. I feel like I'm getting all of the like strong Ardbeg smoky components. And I'm not really getting much of the sherry components, except for like on the aroma, there's like a nutty kind of component, which to me is probably related to that Oloroso sherry butt. But it is thick and good mouthfeel. Great intense level of flavors. But we want to kind of try to find like where that Oloroso sherry butt kind of like presents itself in here. There we go. We're getting some more of that like a sweet character. Yeah, definitely like that maple bacon, like that little bit of protein with like a sweetness, like maple bacon, like a syrup, a sweet component, and just a little bit of that protein alongside the smoky components like that campfire, bonfire, smoke, and I guess slight briny, slight freshness, and just a little bit of mint character there too. That nuttiness has kind of mostly subsided, and we're more now in the sweetness for me. But that being said, for me, there's not like a dried fruit like component like you get on a lot of like Oloroso sherry whiskeys. There's not like um, much of a like raisin fig date thing. It's mostly presenting like a sweetness or like a nuttiness initially. Yeah, good rich sweetness now. We're kind of getting like acclimated to some of that peaty smoky character, and it's kind of like developing into that kind of sugary protein note. And quite a rich, thick mouthfeel. Um, you get that campfire smoke. That brininess is present for me. We should also get some of that like a syrup kind of sweetness on the palate. Then you kind of have like that growing, kind of earthy, tarry note. Um, Again, for this particular profile with Ardbeg, to me, like that back palate start of finish, kind of like deep earthy note kind of presents for me as like tar, much less like for me, Lagavulin has this note in like an ashiness, and Lefroy kind of has this note as like a dark, bitter earthiness, and for an Ardbeg, for me, it's kind of like a tarry note, kind of all in the same place, kind of like when you get a growing note on the like mid palate, back palate, early finish kind of area. Um, and for me on Ardbeg, it's always kind of feels like it's like tar. Again, that sweetness is kind of peaking now. A good progression of flavors, intense flavors. Again, still like smoky and briny and fresh with a darker, sweeter component. That being said, it's not like producing like a bunch of interesting emerging elements. It's kind of like the elements um, that it wants to show you are there, bold and rich. That's a great flavor profile. There's like just enough of like a protein that it kind of goes with like that meat and sweetness, but doesn't like reach into like barbecue. It's not like barbecue at all. It's like just a slight amount of meaty character along with that rich like dark toffee or maple bacon kind of thing, or like a syrup kind of like sherry related note. And I'm missing kind of like a sherry related spice note right away, but we're going to focus on the finish on this next sip and see how we feel about it. So it starts with some of that like tarry character, some of that dark creosote, smoky. Um, there's a little bit of like spice that's like sherry related, but it's very well mixed in with this kind of like tarry smoky component. And that's mostly it for me. Finish is like, say, medium plus. Length, pretty good length. Great mouthfeel on this one. Um, just a great texture. But the finish doesn't seem terribly adventurous, at least right now. It's got a good length and it's got a good set of notes, but again, those notes are mostly in the smoky realm with a slight hint of like sherry related component. I'm not really getting much out of this that would like tee me off to like a bourbon barrel, like a vanilla or caramel or this sort of thing. So we're gonna take one more sip and then we'll start uh, the score here. Um, Major upside for it. A great combination of flavors, great flavor profile, great intensity of flavors, great texture and mouthfeel. Like obvious con for me that like is kind of like maybe gonna hold it back from having like a truly a great score for me is there's not a lot of added dimension. It's again most of that smoky component on all cylinders with a slight sherry bit in there. It's not like providing new and interesting avenues or recombinating different notes into new flavors. It's kind of like hitting you with what it's got and nothing else. There's no surprises. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Is there's no like, oh, huh, what's that? You know, there's no like I'm going in here and surprised at what I get. It's kind of mostly what I'm expecting. And for me, it's like those whiskeys that truly like exceed in my scoring taste, if you will, are the ones that like really can provide some real horizontal breadth of complexity where I'm kept guessing. It's so interesting. Um, this is just like hitting me the same every time. Which it's again, what it's got is in spades, but it's not perfect. Um, It's delicious. Love the mouthfeel. Let's focus on the aroma. So at 25 on the aroma, again, great set of strong, interesting components. Intensity's great. Good variety. Not a vast depth of complexity. 20 for me. 20 and a 25. So we're going to focus on the palate. Yeah, I feel good about that. You get in there, you get that smoke, you get that campfire, you get that like syrup level sweetness. You get a growing, tarry, earthy component. All great intensity, delicious. Nothing wild happening. Again, 20 to 25. And on the finish, I feel like this one is probably going to like suffer a bit on the finish. It's not super duper impressed me. Again, it hits me with that tar, a little bit of that like sherry related spice note. Again, some of that kind of like burnt log, creosote, campfire, tar, maybe slight coastal air. But it's not like exceedingly long. And it's also like kind of like a continuation of the palette in a lot of ways. It's not providing anything new or interesting. So I feel like it just doesn't have the depth and doesn't have the pop to really give me what I would want, you know? Again, some of that tar, smoke, some of that like burnt log, creosote kind of note, some sherry related spice character. Some amount of like salty component. Medium plus is a good length for me. I give it 18 and 25. Again, good intensity on the finish, but not the most length, not the most interesting. So out of 10, the texture, great texture on this one, great mouthfeel. Again, it's thick and velvety. easy, like 9 out of 10 for me on texture. And now, out of 15, my personal experience. And this is, man, what a great, strong, intense, smoky offering. All the power of the distillate, of the Ardbeg distillate, is behind this offering. Great mouthfeel, great ABV, strong, smoky, intense. Everything that Ardbeg wants to offer you is in there. You have a slight bit of that sherry component that kind of like keeps kind of showing more and more as you kind of like acclimate to the spirit. You get some of that little bit of protein, but that thick sherry sweetness definitely apparent on the nose and the palate. A little bit of tickle of it on the finish. Man, well executed, strong and notable offering. Again, you want to have that strong, intense Ardbeg peated flavor. You get it in spades. And you get some rich sherry sweetness on top of it. Not doing anything wild, but definitely a pretty standout offering here. I'm gonna give it 11 out of 15. Not doing anything crazy. This bottle just doesn't do anything crazy out of the ordinary that would pick it out from a crowd of other like really strong peated Isla offerings. It's a strong peated Isla offering in the Ardbeg flavor. With a sherry component, and the sherry component really hits really well to great whiskey. Let's calc it up. I've got 20, 20 and 20, and 18, and 9, and 11 is 78. 78 out of 100. And we call this great. This is a great whiskey. This is almost an excellent whiskey. It's just 2 points shy for me of an excellent whiskey. I think it's a good place to put it. It's not insanity, but it's great. It's a great offering. Not bad. This is the Ardbeg Oogedale. I'm interested to see how I will personally rate the Corey Vrecken, because I think for my taste, I like the Corey Vrecken better. It's a higher proof. It's got one of the best textures of any whiskey I've ever had. The Ardbeg Corey Vrecken, but it doesn't have that additional added like sherry component. It has like a virgin oak component to the whiskey, which I find doesn't really present as much of anything. It kind of presents more like a cask strength Ardbeg 10, which is nothing wrong with that. But when you consider like part of how we grade these is based on the complexity of the elements, not only the intensity of the elements, because Corey Vrecken has a very intense palate, of course, but the overall complexity of the Corey Vrecken is maybe less because it doesn't have a sherry component. Instead, has a Limousin oak, virgin Limousin oak part to it, which I don't find really stands out as its own. Like, you can't really taste that virgin oak influence, at least not for me. But then again, we only had it a few times. We could even try a little bit of it right now just to see how we're feeling about it. But I think in a vacuum, I feel like I know I like the Corey Vrecken better, but it's always interesting when you go to like try to assess the whiskey and really rank it, where you end up in a situation where you're like, well, I like the flavor of this whiskey better, but is it really a more in-depth experience? And sometimes it's not. And an easy example of that always is, again, I always talk about the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked, which to me is like not a complex whiskey at all. And I haven't rated it yet, but when we do rate it, I get the feeling it's not going to score much more than a 60 for me, because there's not a whole lot going on in that bottle. But is it goddamn delicious? Sometimes you just want the like chocolate ice cream. It doesn't have to have a whole lot of different components that's interesting and thought provoking and intense and providing variety to your experience. You don't need all that to enjoy a good whiskey. And I think it's like one of these things where like maybe we'll pour some Corey Reckon right now and just see how I feel about it in this moment. But this might end up with a better score than the Corey Reckon, even though in my mind I think I like the Corey Reckon better. Just because this has like that extra sherry dimension. Adriana's playing on my phone. That's interesting though, because it's like this is a bottle people love. People love the Ardbeg Ugdal, and I didn't really know where I would put it. Even when I got it out for this review, I didn't really know where I would put it. And basically it ended up, if we get into the weeds here, it ended up like roughly in the top 5 reviews I've ever given. I think it's number 4 of the like 52 reviews at this point that we've done. I think it's the 4th highest rated whiskey we've done, which is a great score for me right now. But I'm seeing long term, I'm seeing in the future, and I'm like, well, there's a world where, we end up with lots of 90s existing. Right now, I only have one that's even in the 90s, and it's not 90 period. So I don't think this will end up in like my top 10 in my lifetime, right? Was looking at my stock portfolio, rip. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Orange Man, Orange Man do a bad thing. We don't like him. Although Orange Man did a thing that doesn't involve Canada for once, which is nice. But the thing is most of us Canadians invest in the American market because that's the right place to put your money. So we're still kind of pissed. even though Orange Man didn't target us directly this time, Orange Man targeted everybody, and we were involved in that. I guess there was also the other thing too, where technically our government said like, if you don't take the tariffs away, we're going to put more tariffs on you later, and we're at that later point, so things could get weird. It is what it is, yeah. Actually, well, you weren't here yesterday, but I was sitting here, and like, I don't think anyone really clued into it, but I did mention it in like the super secret private section of Discord. But like while I was sitting here streaming, my phone was like getting alerts from my broker, and I was like, that's either really good or really bad, and I feel like it's not really good. Because it's like got those notifications where it's like, if it goes up a lot, it gives you a notification, but if it goes down a lot, it also gives you a notification. So I was like, uh-oh. But everyone's in the same boat here. But yeah, we just did a review of the Ardbeg Ugdal Isla single malt Scotch whiskey. Again, this is a Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton product. 54.2% alcohol, 108.4 proof, non-chill filtered natural color, and this is roughly 10 years in ex-bourbon barrels and ex-sherry butts. Of course, this is from Islay, from the Ardbeg Distillery, where they produce heavily peated whiskey. This is a very heavily peated distillate for sure, with just a good amount of like that maple syrup, like syrupy sweet component, maybe dark toffee. What do they say? They say treacle. That's a maple sweetness. A good sweet component to it. So it's kind of like all of the Ardbeg smoky, minty, tarry notes with like an undertone of like syrup. They mention raisiny on the bottle, but I've never gotten raisins on this one yet. It would make sense. I did get some nut component. Um, I did some get some down these nuts at the start. But it kind of like evolved out of that more into like that like maple syrup, maple bacon kind of realm. Great texture to the whiskey, but mostly what you see is what you get. You get an Ardbeg whiskey, strong peated, smoky components, with some sherry-related sweetness. No wow factor, just what you expect. So we had a little bit of a segue about the Corey Vrecken, so we have a little bit of time, so we're gonna like just take a little foray into the Corey Vrecken here. And again, the Corey Vrecken is also an Ardbeg, a different Ardbeg offering. This one, 57.1% alcohol, so slightly higher proof. Again, non-chill filtered natural color. 8 to 14 years in ex-bourbon barrels and virgin limousine oak barrels. Those are French oak that you would use, for example, for cognac. Um, and again, the Corey Vrecken is the name of a famous whirlpool in on Isla. So that's where the name comes from. Um, and again, for me, I don't feel like I really get um, much of the like virgin limousine oak in this. It's just like a really solid, almost cask strength Ardbeg product. Again, there's like a little bit of whiskey in here that's younger than 10 years old, so it's not quite a 10-year-old whiskey. But it's still like strong and peaty, and all the peat notes. And again, it doesn't have the sweet sherry components of the Oudon. But also, this is like the closest I think you can get to a cask strength Ardbeg product, other than from something from an independent bottler. Again, 57.1% alcohol is pretty close to cask strength, but it doesn't say cask strength on the bottle. That's probably a vatting with some amount of water in it. That being said, just the greatest texture to the whiskey. So strong and oily and thick. And I just wanted to, again, we rated this one 78 out of 100, which is against 2 points shy of an excellent score. But in my brain, I like prefer this one. I just wanted I'm just wondering if like the extra sherry component of this one means this one will end up with a lower score, despite I kind of like it better. I think it'll at least score 1 point higher in the texture department, though. This is by far the like thickest and most oily and viscous whiskey I've ever had. Um, Found your build for today? I have no idea what I'm doing. Um, I'm going to go to bed, and then I'm going to probably log into it tomorrow and do some random shit. Corrupt and cry. I'll either do idiot crossbow man with friend, or I will do the other thing that's like in my brain is that huntress build with the AoE corrupting blood thing, because the skill is called blood boil. So I feel like I'm supposed to use it. I'll do one of those two things. Going to bed. It's like 11 a.m., 12 p.m. Yeah, I gotta work at 10 p.m. So that's why we're drinking like high strength alcohol at this hour. I'm not on vacation. I just go to work at 10 p.m. At night. I leave the house at like 9 p.m. to go to work. And I don't get home until like 7 a.m. Anyway, that's the color on that. The Ardbeg Corey Vrecken, which again is slightly lighter than the Ugdal. It doesn't have a sherry component. Night shift work, yeah. Again, I'm an overnight reach truck driver, which basically is like, if you don't know what a reach truck is, it's basically like an electric forklift that is made for very skinny aisles because it can spin on a dime. And the forks like have like a grabbing mechanism where they go in and out. That's basically, I go and drive that all night and then I come home. And it might be because they can't get anyone else who's competent enough to drive the machine without breaking something. There's a special breed of people who can drive machinery at midnight and not break things. I'm one of those few people. Yeah, I comply with the forklift certified meme, yeah. And it used to be like when I got hired, like there was a few people that drive, but now I'm like the only person. I'm like the only person who drives. So that means that like I'm that guy that they can't afford to lose. Because if I quit, they're fucked. Uh, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing to use when you want to talk about needing more money. Like again, I used to be on the 410s. I don't know if you knew that, but I used to work 4 10-hour shifts. But now the company's like, oh, we're not doing that anymore. So I work 5 8-hour shifts again. I don't work weekends. I never work weekends. But as soon as they made that change, I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. You should increase my salary, and they did. It worked. Yeah, I think I would prefer 410s. I definitely preferred 410s. It's a better shift in my opinion. But they didn't want to negotiate on that term, so I negotiated on another term, and it worked. Anyway, yeah. So there's some Corey Vrecken here again, a little bit lighter. It's got Virgin Limousine Oak, roughly similar age. But I'm just gonna like see how I feel about this today. Again, these bottles are, you can probably not really see too well, but they're mostly full. Like this is near the top, right? They haven't had much time to have air impact. So these might change drastically in the bottom of the bottle. Again, we rated this one near the top of the bottle. That's not wrong, but I know for sure with some of these peated whiskeys, this experience down here is very different than this experience up here, because some of that like really high-powered smoky character dissipates over time with more aeration. Is it corked? I mean, yeah, these have a cork. if that's what you're asking. But they're not corked, as in there's nothing wrong with them. Usually when I see the word corked, I assume that means like they've been cardboarded because their cork has gotten into the whiskey. That's usually when we think about corked. That's what we say, but or if there's actual cork in here. The cap, yeah, the cap is cork. Natural cork. It's not me cap, but the bottle cap. Cap and cork and corked cap, and is it a corked cap or a capped cork? But yeah, no, these are corks. Again, after we broke that lot 40, I wish these were synthetic. I wish everyone would use synthetic corks, but these are natural corks. All right, so we've had this sitting for a little bit of a minute here. It's so much fresher and brighter. Again, we just came off this Ugdal, so it's going to be like a little bit sherry and a little bit darker. This is like so sweet bacon campfire right now. And by comparison, this kind of like more freshly poured Corey Vrecken is brighter. Brighter and fresher. I almost get some of that like orchard fruit component, which I don't get at all for this thing. You need to get that type of drinking glass you have. Yeah, so these are called Glencairns. It does say like official Glencairn on the bottom in etch glass. You probably can't see that too well. But most whiskey shops or liquor stores will have some of these you can buy. You have a couple of options when it comes to glassware. There's this, or another one that's commonly used is called the copita. So if you like this sort of thing where it's kind of a bit stubby, this is what generally most people use. By the way, this is the most used whiskey glass, and part of the reason why I use it is if I'm going to review something, I want to review it in the same glass most people will consume it in, which is this one. If you use like a regular like circular tumbler, you're not going to get nearly the same amount of aroma strength. The taste won't change, but the aroma strength that you get when you try to nose this is significantly increased by the glassware. So if you're feeling like you're not really getting the nose, try the glassware. It'll make a big difference, I promise you. But if you want something that's stemmed, again, you can get these that are stemmed, but there's another option that you can use, and this company also makes it. It's called a copita. Which is this glass here. So it's kind of like not quite a tulip. It's kind of it's still got like this like sort of shape where it brings the aromas to a point. But this is like what they used to use before Glencairns. This was commonly used by like blenders and stuff like that. You have a copita, but its radius is smaller to the top and it's longer. I think it's more for beer. Yeah, it could be. These are like the same roughly size as the ones here, except they have a stem and the shape is not a bulb. Instead, it's like this. You don't have to get a Glencairn branded one. You can just get any copita. But there is other sort of glassware you can use. There's other bulb shapes you can find which are similar and probably do a similar thing. Again, this is like a branding thing that this exact shape exists, and they're trying to protect this glass shape with some kind of like rights or patent or something. There's other ones you can get. I've seen some people use what's called a blender's glass, which is this thing. So you could use something like this too, but this one is not very common. By far, this is like the most common glassware that you would use. So if you want to get like the same notes that most people get, you want something like this. Copita works too, but this is kind of what most people are using. So you will get the same kind of like experience that most people would get. That being said, your personal preference, you want to use a blender's glass or whatever, like whatever you enjoy. That's what's most important. But for me, I kind of try to pick the one that most people use. But also, if you're using, like, again, if you have a tumbler, if you just got a circular tumbler, it's not going to really concentrate those aromas in a way that it's going to be like the best receptive experience for your nose. So you might not actually get the same depth of aromas that you might get if you use proper glassware. And again, there's some like fancy ones, like there's a Norland glass, which has like a same principle, but it's almost like a tumbler. And then there's like one called like the neat glass, and that one's supposed to like dissipate the alcohol better. One of the things that's definitely true about Glencairns is not only does that concentrate the aromas, but it concentrates the ethanol of this high strength spirit. All that alcohol vapor is going in one direction too. So you kind of have to be like aware that it initially is going to take some acclimation because all that alcohol is going to hit your nostrils and singe your nose hairs, and you have some amount of learning to do, both on how long it takes for this alcohol to subside enough that you can nose it, but also that you don't like burn your nostrils with how close you get. Especially with a cask strength spirit. Like if I go all the way in and take a deep breath, I can feel it tingle in the inside of my nose. It burns a little bit. But again, this is very high alcohol. This is cask strength by any other name, right? So, but yeah, I definitely recommend this glass or Copita if you're gonna properly try to get the best experience. But whatever you prefer is most important. Which as Corey's reckon, again, it's mostly just like fresher. I'm getting like all the freshness that's not present in this super sherry kind of tinted Uggdal. Hmm. Yeah, this one's like pepperier, fresher. It says dark fruits on it. I don't get that. Stronger smoky components, stronger like burnt log campfire notes, stronger tarry components in the finish. So Jiru, how's it going? So this one again, I feel like it's a little bit stronger, and it hasn't been diluted. So like for example, this Uggdal, while you get some great sweet components to this, that sweetness from the sherry cask does some tapering off of the core smoke component. You wouldn't know it drinking it on its own though, because this has a very strong smoke component. That smoke distillate is very strong and present. But when you go up against the Corey Vrecken, it's more intense. There's none of that sweet note, but it's more intense on all the smoke character. But it's missing that extra dimension you get from the sherry on this Uggdal. So, it's interesting. That being said, there is like a peppery character to this that you don't get on Uggdal, whether you like pepper or not. I feel like these bottles would end up rating very similar. Again, that the Uggdal has a better dimension to it, but the notes on this one are even more intense, more and more in your face. How to drop in this time? You're here at the exact same time where I'm almost done, but I do appreciate you being here. This is usually where I end on weekdays, is around this time. That's usually when we get off. We start alcohol like an hour ago. So if you want just the alcohol parts, if you get here like an hour earlier, you'll be here for the whole alcohol part. But that being said, like, even I was just trying to like to have again a second sample of this Corey Brecken to see how I felt about it. But I'm almost like kind of dead even on these a little bit. Got here during the gaming part, yeah. Yeah, we try to do some games. We try to keep it a little bit interesting. Part of the thing is like, I can't just sit here and talk about alcohol for 4 hours every day. It's probably not good for my health. So we don't do that. I don't mind talking about alcohol for 4 hours, but I cannot consume alcohol for 4 hours. I will be sloshed on stream. And I'm trying to do this broadcast like at least 6 out of 7 days of the week. So we're trying not to get hammered like 6 out of 7 days of the week. That might be a little much. Maybe 1 or 2 days out of the week is not too bad, but every day, maybe not. Your liver will be cooked. Yeah, we're trying to preserve our lifespan so we can enjoy more Scotch whiskey in the future. And I don't need a lot. Like I said, like I poured like maybe 30 milliliters to this, and we're not even like through it yet. Like I don't consume that much really. But the point is just if we talk about and consume whiskey for 4 hours every day, as much as I would like to, we probably would get cooked a little bit. So we try to like limit that to like this last hour. But look, I'm down to talk about as much whiskey related topics as you want. If we're here and we're gaming and you want to talk about rum or gin, man, absolutely. Just to be clear. But I just want to be like live more often, so gaming is a good option. I play games, so this it's part of it. It's just part of the broadcast. I know it would be great if it was just whiskey all the time, but we have to be a little bit reasonable. But like I was saying, like I think when we neck poured these, I really liked the Corey more. I think because it's like more viscous and more intense on all the Ardbeg notes. But I'm kind of liking the sweet part of this Ugdal. It's like the Ugdal has the sweet part, and the Corey is the more intense Ardbeg spirit. I don't know what the new charred limousine oak is doing in this, man. I can't tell it's even in there. It just seems like cask strength Ardbeg 10 to me. Which is not a bad place to be honest. But like I said, alas, we're kind of like near the end here. We did a great review today of Ardbeg Ugdal. We'll probably play some Path of Exile 2 tomorrow, and then do something else. We'll do something. We'll drink something, consume something, have fun with something, and then Sunday again is hit or miss if I stream, and if I stream it's random. I still need to do sample bottles. So I know I've been saying this for like 3 or 4 weeks, but I might do sample bottles on Sunday, maybe. We'll see. We're trying to get things caught up a little bit. There's been some non-work related, non-stream related constraints on my time. And there's going to be even more literally today. So I appreciate your patience with this. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. I will be back tomorrow at 12 Eastern Time. Probably playing some PoE. It might be softcore, to be honest. I don't know if I can lose another character. Join the Discord if you're not on Discord. Either regardless of what platform you're on, there's a Discord link around. On Twitch, there's Discord. But if you're on TikTok, there's a Discord link in the profile, and if you're on YouTube, there's a Discord link on the channel page. Join us on Discord. That's where everything's happening. That's where you get the news. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. And I think that's it. Peace.